Well, looky here. Look who I got live in the studio right now. My boy Raj. We're talking fantasy football. We're talking, looks like we have, I thought I was going live to IG as well, but we're not, but that's okay. We're on YouTube. We're talking 49ers specifically because we got the man, the myth, the legend in here tonight. So what's Deebo going to do? What's CMC going to do? What are my Cardinals going to do against his Niners? We're talking about right now. The Fantasy Football Show begins now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
What is going on, everybody? My boy Raj in studio today. We haven't had a live studio guest, I think, ever.
Oh, first one, huh?
Yeah, Grant came here, but we didn't go live on YouTube. But yeah, so Raj in the studio. I thought it'd be a special little YouTube live stream to discuss 49er-related players. I know his people are going to come in here. Do you need the link for this for your people?
Yeah, send it. Actually, okay. I'll just, let me go tag it in my story.
Yeah. So, actually, I think I tagged you in it so you can just send it to your people. Yeah, I think I tagged you here so you can just repost that. But we'll get his people in here. I'm sure they're eager to talk about the Niner players. But I wanted to specifically talk about what's in store for Deebo. Deebo is the most impossible player to tackle. We talked about this on my show a couple Sundays in a row, discussing how Collinsworth was the first person to mention this, that he either gets ushered out of bounds or he's in the end zone. Like, he just doesn't get tackled. And I'm watching Jahmyr Gibbs right now as well. I'm hoping he explodes in this game here. 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Raj, tell me what Deebo does in week number 15. Give me a stat line for Deebo Samuel.
Okay, I just sent the link. Deebo Samuel, the most versatile player in the NFL. And
definitely.
You can't tackle the guy. I think Deebo's getting 2 touchdowns today. You know why? Because I was at
Hold on 1 second. I think your mic wasn't. Try now, Raj.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Deebo Samuel, the most versatile wide receiver in the NFL. We know how great he is, breaking the tackles and everything. The guy has the NFL record in rushing touchdowns by a wide receiver. That's incredible. He's been in the league since 2019. He already has an NFL record. I think Deebo Samuel is going to score you 2 touchdowns this week, and I really do.
2. He
He dominates NFC West opponents. He dominates in general, but in the NFC West, he comes to play against the division rivals. I got Deebo going for 2 touchdowns. I think he'll have about 50 yards rushing, maybe another...
1 on the ground?
1 on the ground, 1 in the air, and I have him going for maybe another 70 yards receiving. He's going to have over 100 yards all-purpose, man. This guy's a monster. Ever since he's come back in the lineup, Smitty, the 49ers have not missed a beat. They've been winning games, scoring high points. He has been the absolute star. He's been the basically like glue, not just glue, but he's like the engine of this team. He's the one that gets everything rolling, man. He's the one that kind of gets everything revved up, and they go from there, man.
What's CMC? First of all, can you guys hear? Is there a big echo when I have both the mics activated? I haven't done a co-host show in here before, so I don't know what the sound's going to be. So can you guys tell me when I have both of our mics open? Is it a big echo? I imagine it might be. Let me know real quick. But Raj, what is CMC's line? Give me his stats. Is it 100 yards on the ground? What do you have last week? 100 and
He had 140 yards purpose. So this man is on. Just go crazy in the record books, right? He's leading the NFL in rushing yards. I honestly, he didn't even get a touchdown last week. The first rush of the game, 72 yards. He broke it off. Last time he played Arizona, he had a lot of touchdowns. Was it 3 or 4 touchdowns against Arizona? He went off in that game. I think McCaffrey gets 1 in the air, at least 1 touchdown. I think he's going to have easy over 100 yards all-purpose. This guy has been dominating, and he's still on pace to have the most all-purpose yards in 49ers history in terms of running back. So it's close. It's not going to be easy. Frank Gore obviously has the record, but Christian McCaffrey is close. And I think he has another big week. But I don't think he has a lot of touchdowns. I think maybe 1 touchdown.
But Raj, Purdy's a system guy.
Ha ha ha! Brock Purdy!
Explain to me how he's not a system guy, Raj.
Okay, he's not a system guy because he's number 1 in passer rating, QBR, completion percentage. He's number 1 in yards per attempt. This guy is moving the ball down the field at a high clip. Brock Purdy is your MVP, ladies and gentlemen. And tomorrow in Arizona will be a homecoming game for Brock Purdy. Tomorrow he's throwing for 5 touchdowns, ladies and gentlemen.
Five touchdowns. Jeez. Yeah. All right, so this is my realistic projection. I think Deebo Samuel has 30 yards rushing and a touchdown. 45 receiving, 4 receptions. Big day. That's a big day. That's still a big day in fantasy. It's not 2 TDs, but I think it's a big day. Ayuk, touchdown, 90 yards. Kittle, I hate saying this, touchdown. We'll call it 70 yards. Brock Purdy, 3 TDs. Does he play the whole game?
They might pull him out. No, I think Brock Purdy, 4 touchdowns. Maybe in the fourth quarter they'll pull him and Sam Darnold gets a couple of snaps there. But it's going to be his homecoming. And he's going to be getting a warm welcome from his family tomorrow. I think Brock.
Why is this mic not working anymore? What in the hell's going on? Oh, you hit the mute. Did I?
We good? Do you hear me now?
He hit the mute.
Unbelievable.
He tapped the button.
I didn't tap nothing, man. I tapped nothing.
All right. God, what's going on here? This is the worst production. I haven't had anybody in here for a while, ever. So, anyway, we're working through it. Okay, so give me. A lot of people think Kyler Murray is a questionable play. I agree, but speak honestly. Can Kyler produce some stats against your 49ers?
I think so. The 49ers are going to have 2 big injuries. They have Arik Armstead, Javon Hargrave in the middle. Those are 2 big run stuffers. The 49ers, they traditionally have had a hard time against the mobile quarterbacks. Kyler Murray's played pretty good in his return from the ACL. So I think Kyler might early on give him everything he can, and this is a good barometer for the 49ers defense in being able to stop the mobile quarterback. Because next week, they got Lamar Jackson, and this is a good little taste of that kind of ability. So, yeah, I think Kyler might produce. Again, they don't have the 2 big run stuffers up front for the 49ers. You got Javon Kinlaw and Kalia Davis are really going to have to step up. They added T.Y. McGill from the practice squad today. Maybe he gets some action. And then you have Kevin Givens. So we'll see how it goes with those guys. I think Kyler and James Conner can have some success tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to be enough to be able to run over the Niners. But, yeah, I think Kyler could have some success.
Give me a Kyler Murray stat line, because I got a lot of Kyler Murray questions like, hey, should I start Kyler Murray or should I start Goff was one of them. Yeah. Kyler Murray or, I don't know, somebody going on Sunday. Yeah. And it's questionable. Like, what is a Kyler Murray stat line against the Niner D going to look like objectively?
Yeah, I think he'll have 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll probably throw for $180 to 200. I could see that. I don't think anything more than that. He'll probably have maybe 30 rushing yards, but I got him taking a touchdown. He'll have an interception, maybe 2, but definitely throwing a pick tomorrow.
James Conner stat line against that Niner.
I could see him running. Again, that is going to be the one area where the 49ers are going to have some trouble. I could see him scoring maybe a touchdown if they could get into the red zone and having about 70 to 80 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
We could hear you just quiet. Yeah, that's because that mic got hit. Sorry. I don't know what to expect. All I know is I know Deebo's going to go nuts. I think Purdy will have a good day.
Yeah.
I think Kittle, he's been on fire. What's Kittle's Kittle's been, how many touchdowns does he have in the last
He's got 6 touchdowns, I think. He's been scoring a lot. He had a 3-touchdown game against Dallas. I mean, this man has been locked and loaded, Smitty. He has been a touchdown machine with Brock Purdy over his last 2 years. So, yeah, Kittle's a guy that is always a threat to go get a touchdown. And the thing with Brock Purdy is he's throwing it deep now. It's not that he's just giving it to the yak guys. He's testing the field. He told Kyle Shanahan.
Disrespected.
He is getting disrespected. And, the thing is, Smitty, he said his arm feels the best that he's ever felt in the last year. And he feels like he's throwing the deep ball the best he's ever thrown it. He's throwing it deep, Smitty, every week. Last week, that touchdown to Deebo, the touchdown to Kittle. The week before, he had a big touchdown or a big deep pass. He did it to Kittle against the Jaguars. He did it to Brandon Ayuk the week after that.
Yeah.
He's testing the field.
I will say, this is just my honest opinion. I'm not trying to be a hater or anything like that. I don't think he's a top 3, 4, 5 quarterback yet. I think, is there the potential for it? Sure. But I think he's playing like that right now. The Niners are helping him play like that right now. I'm not saying he's a system guy. Okay. I just think it's too early to be throwing him into that conversation. But he's certainly, like Sherman said, you can't sit here and like take away Jerry Rice from. No one's doing that when they're trying to talk about Joe Montana or Steve Young or talk about Peyton Manning without talking about Marvin Harrison or whatever the hell combination you want to talk about. Like you can't separate situation from player. He is producing the way he's producing. Now, I guess some hater, and I'm not a hater. I'm not saying that he can't become this player, but some might say, what happens when McCaffrey's gone? What happens if Deebo's not there? What happens if you don't re-sign Ayuk? I think you will. Ayuk's a free agent. He's got one more.
He signed a 5th-year option, but they got to extend him because if they don't extend him, I mean, he's not coming back. So they have. This is the year where they have to get that extension going. Yeah.
I mean, if you guys lost, I'm not gonna lie. If you guys lost CMC, I think it would be a different looking Brock. I'm not saying he still wouldn't be a top 10 quarterback, but I think you guys got a lot of talent, and you can't take it away from him though. Like, it doesn't mean that he won't be in the MVP running. If you guys, let's say, win out, I think that he will be top 2 MVP candidate material, and he'll deserve it because he's playing that way right now. I just don't know. I can't put him in the same. We had an argument on Instagram about this, and I know that my community is going to view it my way. His community is going to view it his way. But I can't put him above Josh Allen. I can't put him above Mahomes. I can't put him. I know they want to, but you can't. Like, I think you can't.
In terms of, like, overall career, like, yeah. I mean, obviously, he still has to prove himself. Yeah. And I think you had a fair point in saying that he's not one of the top he's not elite yet. And I get it because he has to continue to prove it. But this season, the way he's playing, the way the stats are going, him and the Niners have beaten Dallas. They beat, Trevor Lawrence. They beat, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Like, if he can go into that Baltimore game next week and the 49ers defeat the Ravens and he has a good performance, then there's absolutely, in my mind, no question he's the MVP. But I see where you're saying right now his body of work isn't better than Mahomes.
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah.
We can't assume he'll be. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, Josh Allen, he throws interceptions." Josh Allen's still, I think, proven to be like, if you're drafting a team right now and you're creating a brand new NFL team, you're drafting I think you're drafting Josh Allen 10 times out of 10 over Brock Purdy. Doesn't mean Brock Purdy can't get there. I know your mindset will be different because Brock Purdy's doing great things for you, but I would not draft Brock Purdy over Josh Allen if I'm creating an NFL team today. I'm not doing it over Mahomes. I'm not taking him over Joe Burrow. I'm not taking him over a handful. We're talking more than 5 or more quarterbacks. But do I think he's in the conversation of like the 6 to 10? I think he could be. I mean, he's also very, very early on in his career. This is like his first, real. I mean, you could say first real full go, right? And the thing is, God, he's got so much talent, though. And to this point right here, like, what would you say to somebody like Silver who says Purdy can't be MVP because he's not even the most valuable player on his own team? CMC is. Deebo might be arguably the same. I think quarterbacks always get the consideration, so I think Silver, he could be. I think he will be.
The quarterbacks, quarterbacks are. It's a quarterback-friendly league, and one of the other arguments this week was, Peyton Manning. Look at Peyton Manning when he was, in his prime. He had Marvin Harrison and Edgerrin James and all the weapons. When you're a good team, Kurt Warner, he had great weapons. Marshall Faulk, Oz Hakeem and Torrey Holt. Like, yes, they're great players on the 49ers. He has a very, wealth amount of weapons. Like, it's great to see all the play. Like, I love it as a Niner fan. Deebo, Kittle, and like you said, CMC and Trent Williams and all these guys, Brandon Ayuk, but you still have to have a quarterback to deliver the ball. He's throwing it deep at a high rate. Like, this is something the 49ers haven't seen in a long time. And also, they run the West Coast offense. You don't have to throw deep every play like Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's just not the 49ers football. That's not the West Coast offense. But then eventually, you start taking deep shots. The 49ers haven't been able to do that until this year. Kyle trusts them. The offense has evolved. Absolutely, CMC is definitely an MVP candidate. He's great. You take him away, I'm sure it's going to hurt this offense, but Christian McCaffrey in himself is great, but with Brock Purdy, it elevates this team because look at the quarterbacks that they've had through the years, Nick Mullins, C.J. Beathard, Jimmy Garoppolo, and they've had a lot of weapons like Kittle and Deebo and Ayuk, but they weren't putting up stats like this. So to me, from seeing it from my perspective and watching these games every week, Purdy has been a game changer, man, and he does extend plays. And like you said, Smitty, he's 23, he's young. He's still learning. Do I think he's better than Mahomes? Absolutely not. That's a stupid take. But I think he has the potential to become one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Let me also put this in a little perspective, too. Is he any further along, really, than like Jordan Love?
I think so because
No. I mean, like they're really at almost the same points in their career, the infancy of you know what I mean? So like the fact that he's doing as well as he is in his infancy part of his career, like this is the very, very beginning, not the middle, not the somewhat the beginning. This is the very beginning of it all. So I think to judge him, that's why I say I'm not going to say he's top 5, but I'm not going to say he's not.
Yeah.
But I certainly could not put him there now. I think people that jump the gun are big Niner fans, and I don't blame anybody for feeling that way if you're a Niner fan. Like, of course you're going to, but there's no way I could, when people start saying he's top 5 right now, I'd draft him over Josh Allen. He's better than Josh Allen. Look, Josh Allen is going to be up and down. He reminds me a lot of Brett Favre. He's going to have years where he just literally throws it all away. That's what Brett Favre did. That's how Josh Allen plays. He's reckless, but to me, he's still a top 4 lock quarterback in the National Football League that I would take as my starter over almost anybody in the National Football League. Hurts, Josh Allen, and I know a lot of your Niner people are going to say Hurts is not as good as Purdy, which, look,
it's a team thing.
Hurts is a top 4 lock, absolute lock. He is. I think someone's lying to themselves if they think they wouldn't take Jalen Hurts over almost any quarterback in the National Football League if you got to choose. But I can understand why every one of your Niner people want Purdy. He is your quarterback.
Honestly, Smitty, for the Niner fans, it's refreshing because this man's putting up stats that we haven't seen in ages. Like, this is going to be a Pro Bowl quarterback. This is the first time the 49ers are going to even have that caliber quarterback since Jeff Garcia in the early 2000s. Like, in the Niner fandom, and I get it. Like, I see where you're coming from, but look at the stats. Watch the film. It's not just the stats he's putting up because of the players around him. If you watch the film, like, he's throwing some tight window throws. He's anticipating receivers. He's putting the ball in areas before the receivers even get there. So that is something you can't teach, like reading a defense and his calmness, his poise. I mean, those are intangibles you can't teach, and I think as he gets, more developed and more polished, and like he says, he's improving his arm strength. As all that stuff kind of continues to develop, he's going to be one of the best in the league. It might be too early to say that now, and I agree with that, but he's on his way, Smitty, and
I can't shoot it down. I can't shoot it down. I certainly will not triple stamp or double stamp on that right this very second. But I think it's crazy to say he can't be.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I think Jahmyr Gibbs needs more carries.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
But I don't know.
Lions are hurt.
All right, Raj, we're going to call this one short. I'll be back to do some drafting and talk about tomorrow's games and everything. But Raj was here. I wanted to jump on, let him see the studio go live for a minute. Appreciate Raj. Go follow him on RSF49ers on Instagram. The man has over 300K. What are you at now? 300 and what?
302,000 on Instagram. Yeah, man.
302,000 on Instagram.
And,
so go follow him, RSF49ers. Let me put it on screen here so you guys can.
And YouTube, RSF49ers Live.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that one.
RSF49ers Live. I'll just put that one up. This is for his YouTube. Go follow him on YouTube. But
yeah, it's been fun. The studio, honestly, this is the first time I've been out here, and this studio, man, Smitty, he's the GOAT, man. So appreciate you guys. Have a great content creator here. Smitty's the guy. He's the man.
And so you rate the studio 10 out of 10?
11 out of 10.
11 out of 10. And Lou Malinotti's Pizza tonight, Vlad was ripping on it, saying there's no way it's great pizza because this is Arizona. What is it, 10 out of 10?
Dude, I'm honestly telling you, it's a 10 out of 10. If my daughter heard me say that, she's going to kick my butt. So I always take her out, and we always do, like, food ratings. That's, like, the thing to do nowadays. And every time we go, I'm, like, very critical. And I've never given any place a 10 out of 10. I said, nothing could be a 10 out of 10. But that pizza was a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
We went there. They hooked us up. It was great.
It was the whole experience. It was the place, the vibes, the food, the atmosphere, the service, the customer service. Everything was good, man. That place was a 10 out of 10.
All right. Hey, I'll be back later, guys. Appreciate you. Go follow Raj. RSF49ers Live on YouTube and then RSF49ers on Instagram. All right, Raj. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it.
I'll see you all tonight. We'll be doing some sort of later live stream, probably like around, 3 hours or 2.5 hours, 3 hours from now. All right, see you all later.